This isn't just a story of crime. This is a terrifying descent into the mind of a man who turned his inherited riches into a twisted playground of torture. What happens when power, wealth, and unchecked darkness collide? Today, we explore the true story of Nepal's most shocking criminal, Ashish Dewla, also known as the Sugar Daddy. I'm Vince, and this is Scenes Explained. Let's begin. On August 23, 2024, Kathmandu police received a disturbing complaint from a young man. His body was covered in horrifying burns, as if someone had ironed his skin. But as investigators heard his story, a far darker picture began to emerge. This wasn't just abuse, it was deliberate, sadistic torture, and the man he accused, a 33-year-old multi-business owner named Ashish Dewla, known in the city as a wealthy, fun-loving partygoer. What no one expected was the horror he was hiding. Ashish Dewla was 33 years old, born into an ultra-rich family in Kathmandu. His father owned a powerful construction empire. Ashish never worked a day to earn what he had. He inherited it all. Lavish homes, luxury cars, endless money. He had everything. But what he lacked was responsibility and empathy. Ashish dropped out after 12th grade. He lived a life of reckless luxury, parties, women, alcohol, and no consequences. He craved attention. He started making prank videos online. He was confident, flirty, and incredibly persuasive. But after his father died during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, something inside Ashish snapped. He took over his father's business, but instead of building, he started destroying people, relationships, and eventually lives. After 2021, Ashish created a new identity, the Sugar Daddy. He began wearing a custom-made, hyper-realistic silicone mask. It looked like an old man, with a wrinkled face and gray beard. He claimed it gave him freedom and power. Wearing the mask, he would enter nightclubs like Senate Club, Kathmandu's most exclusive party zone. There, he offered young girls and boys luxury alcohol, money, designer clothes, anything they wanted. And they took the bait. Online, he became a sensation, posting videos of his lifestyle on TikTok, Instagram. He showed off sports cars, champagne, private rooms, dancing, money raining down. But behind this glittering illusion was a carefully laid trap. Because the Sugar Daddy wasn't just hunting clout, he was hunting people. Ashish had a pattern. He didn't target the rich. He didn't chase fame. He looked for people who were vulnerable, emotionally fragile, struggling financially, feeling isolated. One such boy was Kul Bahadur, just 21 years old. Kul was introduced to Ashish through a mutual friend at Senate Club. Ashish was warm, welcoming, fun. He made Kul feel special. He offered drinks, gifts, a sense of belonging. It felt like friendship, but it was a setup. On August 23, 2024, Kul received a phone call. That same friend told him to collect some money from a nearby shop. Kul agreed and went out. He never expected what came next. He was abducted, blindfolded, forced into a car, driven to a private apartment in Budhanilkantha, one of Ashish's hidden properties. When the blindfold came off and he was surrounded, Ashish stood there. No smile, no jokes. Just a monster, ready to play his twisted game. Kul was stripped naked. Ashish gave him two options, a burning iron or a drill machine. Kul begged for his life. He cried. He called Ashish brother, begging for mercy. Ashish chose the iron. And then the torture began. Kul's skin was seared with the red-hot iron. Pills were shoved down his throat to keep him awake, but too weak to resist. Wooden sticks were inserted into his rectum. Burning Vicks gel smeared across his wounds. Ashish laughed. His friends laughed. Even the friend who betrayed him stood there, mocking him. Then came the horror that broke Kul's spirit. Ashish showed him videos of other victims. In one, a boy's eyes were gouged out with a metal fork. In another, a girl's hands were placed inside a running kitchen mixer. Kul realized he wasn't the first, and unless he escaped, he wouldn't be the last. Another victim was 19-year-old Lal Bahadur. In March 2024, he was abducted and locked in another apartment owned by Ashish. Lal's torture was brutal. He was burned, his genitals twisted with pliers, Vicks gel smeared on wounds, and he was forced to watch videos of others being tortured. Ashish recorded everything, Lal's cries, his promises to stay silent. Those recordings were later used to blackmail him. Lal's family moved him out of Kathmandu. He still suffers from psychological trauma. But then something incredible happened. Kul survived. And after weeks of trauma, he did what no one expected. He spoke up. On September 2nd, 2024, Kul appeared on Kura Show, a national media outlet. He told the world what happened. The next day, he filed a formal complaint. And this time, the police acted. On September 3rd, Kathmandu police arrested Ashish Dewla and his 3 friends named Rajendra Gale, Tejaswi Tamang, and Sajan Gurung. A 25-member police team raided Ashish's property. What they found was shocking. Electric rods, snooker sticks, whips, pliers, drills, metal chairs, and footage videos of victims being tortured. It wasn't just a torture chamber, it was evidence of evil. By September 4th, all 4 suspects were presented in court. As the media spread the story, more victims came forward. Testimonies piled up, social media exploded. The entire nation asked, how could this happen? Ashish had a wife, children, over 100,000 followers. He lived a public life, but his crimes were committed in secret. Some say his family only knew about his sugar daddy antics, not the horror. But that wasn't enough, not for a country demanding justice. During police interrogation, Ashish claimed he was once humiliated by 2 men using women, and since then he hated everyone. But psychologists disagreed. They diagnosed him with extreme narcissism, sadistic personality disorder, emotional detachment from human suffering. Some investigators believe Ashish may have sold the torture videos on the dark web. Though unconfirmed, the footage was too professional to ignore. Despite his wealth, Ashish was drowning in debt. He had mortgaged land to fund his twisted lifestyle. When asked about the mask, Ashish said, "It helps me become someone else, someone with power. I can do anything when I wear it." But nothing can ever justify what he did. Today, Ashish Dewla is behind bars, but fear still lingers. In a country where power and influence often outweigh the law, many wonder if justice will truly be served. The nation waits. The victims wait. Because Ashish wasn't just a criminal, he was a monster in a mask. A predator who threw parties while planning pain, who wore luxury like armor, and hid his darkness behind a smile. If he walks free, who will be next? This was Scenes Explained. I'm Vince. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to the truth. These stories aren't just headlines, they are real lives, real pain, and real evil. Please like, share, and subscribe, so we can expose more stories the world tries to hide. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware, because sometimes the monster doesn't live under the bed. Sometimes he lives upstairs, in a penthouse, behind a smile.